All right, you guys. I was debating whether I was going to do this or not because it's been a little while since I've done one of these video things, so I feel kind of awkward doing this, but I wanted to give you guys some tips. Started writing it out, and honestly, I'm not the best at writing, like physically and also emails. I'm not a very good proofreader. So I decided, I'll just do a video as well for those of you who like videos and can really process that a little bit better. So I'm here with 22.1 tips for y'all. Now, first off, if you have gone and looked at games.crossfit.com and the movement standards or watched the live announcement, you guys maybe go back and, if you didn't, recognize the wall in the background with Alessandro Pacelli demoing the workout, because those are our walls right there. So super cool. You guys can check that out. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the tips. So workout is a 15-minute AMRAP of 3 wall walks or modified wall walks for those scaling it, 12 dumbbell snatches, and then 15 box jump overs or 15 box step ups for those who are scaling this. Now, if you, by the way, read through the email, you're gonna see some workout tips just in general. You're also going to see like advanced workout tips and then intermediate. When I say advanced and intermediate, I don't mean RX is advanced and scaled is intermediate. What I actually mean is there's some people who do scaled but are advanced at scaled. Like they can like recycle things and bust things out really fast and are aiming to be like top of the scaled list. So that's what I mean by advanced. You can be a scaled advanced athlete. So anyways, going on. The first tip is this is a 15-minute long workout. It is very long. And it probably is gonna kind of feel like that a little bit, but if you watch the live announcements, they had athletes go head to head. You can go ahead and go back and rewatch it. And I do suggest to people, especially if you're new to this whole open world, on doing that, because the athletes will share their tips and it's cool to kind of see them break down or how they do the movements and so on. So anyways, if you watched it, you would have seen that Noah Ohlsen was leading the way for most of the workout. I didn't like exactly time it when he started dropping, but for most of the workout, I mean like 10 plus minutes, he was ahead the entire time. Then he started going down. He started getting tired. And that's when Pat Vellner kept steady and then went ahead and took the win on this. So with that being said, it's a 15-minute long workout. Start off nice and easy. Like none of your movement should be frantic. I know 3, 2, 1, go happens and our heart races and we want to like move fast, but try to not do that. Resist that urge. Just be smooth. Transfer from station to station to station with ease on that. Don't feel like you have to rush and run to lay down on your wall walks after you finished your box jumps. Just go nice and easy, okay? Really, you want to try to save some energy in the tank for the last 5 minutes, and that's when you can push a little bit harder. That's what we like to see. So that's tip number 1. Now, our next tip is for the wall walks, okay? So if you are an advanced wall walker or even like scaled, you feel pretty comfortable with this, you should know exactly your hand movements on this. How many steps does it take to get back? How many steps does it take to get forward? And be very consistent with that. Ideally, for those advanced athletes that are going all the way to the wall, want to see you take anywhere between like 4 to 5 steps. 4 would be really great on this on the way in, and then also on the way out. Sometimes you can get even less on the way out because you kind of have that momentum going with you. Also, be sure to be very intentional about your hand movement. So because no reps on this movement, whether you're advanced or an intermediate, is very costly on this. So I would say out of all 3 movements, this is the one where you actually want to go at like a nice swift pace if you can, because if you go really fast in the other movements and your heart rate is really high, it is very easy to just fall asleep on the ground, or want to fall asleep on the ground, right? And just stay there for a little bit too long. And that's what we don't want. This movement shouldn't take that long. It's 3 reps. So we kind of want to just get it done and get out of there. So I would either break up or slow down your other movements so that you can get off of the ground as fast as possible on that. For my intermediate people, especially those who are trying to go RX on this workout, but maybe aren't the most proficient at the wall walks, my tip for you is like, don't even worry about how many hand movements you have, but stay really tight in your midline. If you start getting that banana back and your stomach is to the wall and your hands aren't there yet, like you're gonna be stuck there, all right? So make sure that you stay really tight in your midline, like pull your abs together, stay tight as you do this. Also make sure that you rest enough in between your reps on this if this movement is hard for you, because once again, you don't wanna have a no rep. Those are really costly, especially if you get like basically almost all the way in and you're fighting for that last little inch and then you get a no rep. You just did like so much work to get all the way over there. So rest long enough to make sure that you can get that rep for sure. Now, moving on to the next movement, we have dumbbell snatches. On dumbbell snatches, I would say, for my advanced athletes, I rarely say this, but I would actually say keep your hips up a little bit higher, more like a deadlift. One, it's gonna make your recycle time faster, but it also might save your legs, like your quads a little bit more for the box jump overs. Once again, on this movement, do not feel like you need to rush through it. Like go nice and easy, breathe at the top, back down, switch midway on this, be ready for it, go into your next rep. So nothing too crazy there. It should be like one movement that you guys are pretty confident with if you guys are doing RX or you're that advanced athlete. Just be smooth there. For my intermediates, those who are like trying to go RX, but this weight is a little bit heavy, do not worry about switching midair. Like just get the rep done. Set your hips up a little bit lower. Think about your Foreman technique. Really drive through your legs. Make sure that it's one swift punch. Get underneath the dumbbell, stand up all the way, bring it back down. You can stand up and take a breath, or if you feel pretty confident, reach right down, switch hands, and go into your next one. On that, I might even like try to go 6, take a breath, slow it down a little bit, go 6 again. If you are that intermediate athlete, whether that it means that the RX is heavy for you or even if the scaled is heavy for you. The last movement is the box jump overs. I hope that those who are RXing and usually rebound read this or saw this in the video demos. You cannot rebound in the CrossFit Open. So that means that everybody must step down off of the box. Now RX, you still gotta jump onto the box with 2 feet, but you must step down. That's a big change. We haven't seen that before in the CrossFit Open. So heads up for you guys on there. Now, this one, I would say if you are an advanced athlete, you want to kind of play around with your guys' heights on this. You might want to do some where you're really tall and step down, or you might do some where you stay really low. If you have pretty good knees, you might want to stay sideways and step down. That's a little bit more faster than facing the box and being low and then stepping down. So we'll go over all of that the day of and figure out exactly what you need to do. But I think this is a good movement to be able to do multiple kinds of reps, because this is where your heart rate is gonna get the highest. So if you are staying down low, then, and your heart rate is getting really jacked up and you're like, shoot, I gotta do these wall walks next, then I would try to jump, stand up instead of staying down low in that squat, take a breath, step down, try to get your heart rate back down. Also, you want to save some in the tank at the end of the workout, because that's probably like the one spot where you're going to be able to make up time is the box jumps and the dumbbell snatches. So that's kind of all of the workout stuff and my tips on that. I don't think I have anything else for that. Now let's talk about nutrition wise on this. This is a long workout. Once again, I'm going to keep on saying that. Nutrition wise, I mean, if you haven't been focusing on your nutrition, I don't know if right now is the best time to do this, but I will tell you this. Don't have like pizza as your pre-workout. You are gonna feel that in your stomach. You're gonna be upside down, like burping it. Your judge is gonna be mad. It's gonna be not a good time. So I would say, depending on how fast your digestion is, You want to have your pre-workout meal anywhere between like an hour to an hour and a half before you do the open workout. Keep it very simple. Simple. You don't need anything fancy right now, okay? You can do some sort of carb, like a bagel or oatmeal or rice, something really simple, nothing fancy. And then also some sort of protein. Yogurt, protein shake, chicken. I don't know, chicken kind of makes me like burp though in the middle of my workout, so that's like not my go-to. Egg whites, something like that. You don't want to have a whole lot of fat in this meal because it slows down your digestion. You also don't want to have a lot of veggies because there's a lot of fiber, also slows down your digestion, but also makes you kind of gassy. Once again, you don't want to get your judges mad on this. So that's kind of like nutrition just in general. I would say because this workout is a little bit longer, you don't need to eat that much, but also put in some things in there that's really easily digestible. So something like fruit, something like honey. You can do a little bit of sugar at this time and it's gonna be okay. You just don't wanna feel like really, really full on this workout because you're gonna be on your stomach, you're gonna be jumping, all that jazz. So if you have any other nutrition questions, you can go ahead and email me or shoot me a text and I will try my best to answer those as long as I'm feeling good. All right, so those are kind of the nutrition tips. Last thing is you don't want to like have pre-workout before this workout because you're gonna get really jacked up in the first little tiny bit. And if anything, we are trying to keep your heart rate down and steady and stable for 15 minutes, all right? So no pre-workout before this. However, if you feel like you need a little pick-me-up, I would definitely do some sort of caffeine, like coffee, or yeah, I would say that's the best pick-me-up, but no pre-workout, okay? All right, so that's the nutrition tips. All right, the rest of this is totally up for you guys to watch if you want to. The next thing that you're gonna see is the warm-up led by Coach Ashley here. She's gonna demo it for you in case you're unsure what any of the movements are. And then the last thing is the standards on the movement. So let's quickly go over that. Your coach will go over it briefly with you, but it is very important for you as an athlete and a judge to really know what the standards are. If you go on games.crossfit.com, you can find the standards on there. So please, please, please look at that because that's important. We want to make sure that we are doing this to the best of our ability, each movement. So the first thing is wall walks. There are lines on the floor when you guys come in. You'll see the one closest to the wall is the 10-inch marker. If you are going RX, that is the one that you need to walk into. When you walk into that, heads up, only your palm needs to briefly touch this. So if this was a line, that's all that you really need, and then you can walk out. You don't have to get your entire hand on that, but both hands, both palms do need to touch that line. The next one that you'll see out in front of that is 55 inches away from the wall, and that is the ladies line. Now on this one, you're gonna lay down on the ground and your fingertips can touch that. Once again, you don't have to have your whole palm, just your fingertips on that one. Then the line in front of that is 60 inches away from the wall. It is a teal color, and that's for the guys. So same thing, guys, that blue line, your fingers need to touch that, okay? Those are the new standards for the height standards for this workout. Now, the big thing on this, no rep wise, that we saw last year is when you go, both hands have to start on the line, fingertips. Both feet then have to get up on the wall, both of them, before you can even move your hands. I saw a lot of people put their foot up on the wall and then move a hand, but their other foot wasn't on the wall yet. That is a no rep, so you'll have to start over again, lay back down. Both feet, then hands move on this. Then both hands have to touch the line. Then on your way back out, both hands have to then touch the line before your feet can come off of the wall. Same thing, saw a lot of no reps where people would bring their feet down before both hands would get there. So make sure that you do that. That's why I say be very intentional with your hands. If you are going scaled, and I am a female, this is my white line. My hands are actually not gonna start here. I'm gonna start with my hands above the line. Same thing, both feet need to get up on the wall, and then I'm going to move my hands back behind the white line. That's it. I just need to get both hands, 1, 2, back behind, and then I'll go back in front, feet down off of the wall. So you're really only moving like an inch or so on this. That's not an inch, I don't know, probably like 3 inches, 4 inches, and then back down. So that is the wall walk standards on this. For the dumbbell snatches, a quick reminder, hand that does not have the dumbbell, if this is my dumbbell, your hand has to stay off of your leg. You cannot push off of your leg to help you stand up on this, okay? So hand has to stay off. It has to be one swift movement, so you cannot clean and then jerk the weight. It has to go just straight overhead. Once again, legs have to lock out with that dumbbell overhead by your ear before it can come down on this. When you switch, there's no standard on that. You can switch at any point on that. With the box jump overs, there really isn't like any other standard than you have to take off with both feet. You can jump all the way over the box, that is okay. And you have to step down. You don't have to stand up tall in between, nothing like that. If you're going step overs, both feet have to touch the top of the box at some point on that, so you can't just like swing your leg over. And I think that's it actually, movement standard wise. So probably the hardest thing is really that wall walk. So make sure that you are very intentional about that, warm that up, know your steps, be confident with it. All right. That's all that I really have for this workout. If you hung around this long, wow, congratulations. Otherwise, I did this all for myself, which is totally fine too. All right, guys, good luck. I'm excited to see you guys do this one. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, don't forget to wear your Hawaiian or beach wear.